Hey, Starseeds. So we had some technical difficulties. We tried, was it twice or three times?
Three times.
Three times to do an Instagram live, but Olivia's phone was overheating. So
It's literally 1,000,000 degrees. It's gonna explode.
yeah, so we decided to avert a fiery death, and we're just gonna do it with the computer. So here, first I'll show you what we're doing. Ooh. Computer's making some weird noises. I'll just show you. I'll just pick.
Oh no, Mercury retrograde. Trouble with electronic devices.
So we're doing this reading for Mercury in retrograde, which starts tonight and lasts until April 15th. So the first card that we picked, show it.
Yep. Kind of glare. There you go.
So as you can see with this first card, the woman, she's wearing peacock feathers up here, and that is symbolic of pride. And she's holding her hand out, and she's not angry, but she's stern, and she's holding her staff with a bird on the top and a snake at the bottom, and she's saying, keep your pride in check, because in Mercury in retrograde, that's a difficult time to communicate with others. So as long as you keep your pride in check, you'll be able to communicate effectively. And also, the snake on the bottom of her staff symbolizes, or warns you not to mislead anyone in your communications. We have this second card with this woman. She has her feet, her bare feet, which is important, touching down on the earth. And she's rooted to the earthly world, to the spirit world, and there's balance because there's the sun and then there's the moon, and she's in between two flames, and the flames symbolize passion, they symbolize intuition, and also you can see that she has a heart on her throat, right on her throat chakra. And an important part of communication is speaking your truth. And in Mercury in retrograde, it may be hard to do that. But as long as you do that, you will reap the rewards, because first here's the truth, and then out right from her crown chakra comes out abundance and life and peace and freedom with the bird. So this is the only card that in this layout out of the 4 cards that is upside down, and that means that it is, in order for it to take place, it's contingent on whether or not you keep your pride in check. So for the third card, we have a woman holding a fish, a very big fish, and her dress is kind of water, made out of water, and she has the peacock feathers behind her. And it's very interesting because the last card has peacock feathers in the very same way, kind of in the back. So it's a theme, all except for the one where you find your balance. So this woman is holding a fish, and it's funny because the new moon just happened and it came in under Pisces, which is the
very
symbol.
Emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. The symbol for Pisces is a fish, and it's funny because we started out with a new moon right before Mercury in retrograde, with this very emotional sign, and so that's going to make it even more difficult to communicate while Mercury is in retrograde, because we're still under the influence of this emotional new moon.
And we spoke about the new moon in Pisces, and one of the huge themes is making choices based out of love rather than fear, and people were having all these crazy dreams on the night of the new moon, and a lot of them tie into what is it your truth that you need to be speaking.
Right.
What are the actions that need to follow up afterwards?
So this woman is fueled by emotions, by electricity, by fire, by passion, and she's keeping her emotions close to her center, and she's keeping her pride behind her, so the peacock feathers, so she can communicate effectively. And this card I would interpret as the end of Mercury in retrograde. Here we still have the peacock feathers that are behind. So throughout this whole time in Mercury in retrograde, we've been able to keep our pride in check, to keep the ego in check, and to keep our higher self in mind. And because of that, because we've kept the pride in the background, we've been able to feel freedom and peace, and we've been able to have a rebirth. We've been able to find strength, and we've been able to have a deep connection with the spiritual, with our intuition, and with creativity. So overall, what this card reading tells us for Mercury in retrograde is that we really need to be mindful of how we communicate with others. We need to be mindful of our pride. We need to be
aka your ego.
Right. And as long as you do that, and you keep in mind that like this new moon is very emotional, and that maybe I might be feeling more emotional than I normally would because of the influence of the new moon, take that into consideration during Mercury in retrograde. Also, when we were doing Instagram Live before, we did a kind of like a quick mini meditation right before, because it's important before card reading just to kind of like clear everything out, clear your mind, and really focus your energy on like focusing your energy for when you want to communicate. The cards are just another way to communicate, so we did that. But if you want a Mercury in retrograde card reading,
A personal reading for yourself.
Yeah, a personal reading for yourself, DM us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye, Starseed.
Bye.